Totally blew the Kevlar cracker clean off the fall. How's it going, everyone? Connor here with Caliber Whips, and today's video is how to build the Titan Bullwhip. Now, you guys may have to excuse my disposition because I have been horribly sick for the past couple of weeks. I've had a nasty throat infection, which then added on to a sinus infection and now a horrible ear infection. So I've also been coughing so hard I've strained rib muscles, so it hurts when I cough, and I am in absolute agony right now. So that being said, this video is how to build the Titan Bullwhip, and it's been probably my most requested tutorial build for a while now. For those of you who are new to my channel, you guys may be unaware that I did a showcase a long time ago. It's probably one of my first videos. One of my earlier ones, maybe my third video, showing off the Titan, and it's basically the heaviest whip that I've ever made, and it still holds that title of heaviest whip ever. This whip weighs, I think, around 1.4 pounds, this whip, and it's not waxed either. It has no Turks knots and it's not waxed, so the unwaxed Titan should weigh in at around 1.14 pounds. Those of you who are outside the US, this whip is about 865 grams. So this whip is so heavy, not only has it thrown my shoulder, I don't think it's thrown it out, but it strained a lot of my shoulder muscles. And it also blows these Kevlar crackers off very fast. You guys may have seen in the opening the Kevlar cracker flying off. But yeah, it totally just blows them off from the bottom. So the Titan Bullwhip is unbelievably heavy, unbelievably loud, and as a matter of fact, you can actually hear a comparison. Here's the stunt whip. You can hear it rattling down as it echoes, and here's the Titan Bullwhip. You can hear that even louder as it kind of echoes and ricochets down the neighborhood. So yeah, this whip is an absolute beast to handle and to build. You guys are going to see why in a minute. So without further ado, let's get right into building the Titan. Alright, now let's get started on the build. These are the notes that I took on the Titan Bullwhip. I labeled it Heavy Bullwhip when I first made it. So this is actually the original note that I took on the Titan Bullwhip. This is all there is to it, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of wing it. It's been over a year since I've actually built this type of whip. So basically, what we're going to do here is we have these sections. So a 50 centimeter strand of paracord, you're going to want to put 1 foot of BBs into that. Now, really fast for those of you who are new to whip making, and this is one of your first videos, BBs and paracord aren't good friends. So I actually have a video on my Sandbox channel on what method I use to get BBs inside a paracord, and you're probably thinking, is that a problem? Heck yes it is. So seriously, do some homework on the BBs. It will be a nightmare. And for those of you who have made whips before, this will be an absolute nightmare just by looking at this. What you're seeing, 5 feet, 4 feet, 15 feet worth of BBs inside a paracord, which is what I have right here. This right here took me over 6 hours of work to do. So I'm not kidding. The amount of work it's going to take just to get this whole BBs mess in is unreal. Not only is this thing an absolute titan to play with, but it's also an absolute titan to build. So that being said, what you're going to want to do is cut paracord about that long. I'd cut it a bit longer just to be safe, but you're going to want to put 1 foot of BBs in a 50 centimeter strand, and it's basically what it implies. This right here, you're going to want to cut a 7 foot section of ball chain and put that inside a section of 9.25 feet of paracord as well. But the thong of the whip is going to end at 7 feet. So we're basically going to it's longer because it accounts for the shrinkage. Over here we have the overlay. I believe it is what, 3, 6, 9, yeah, 18 plat overlay, and then the hockey tape right here. This represents the volume that the whip is going to have. That's why it's so thick. So yeah, obviously right off the bat, for those of you who are experts at making whips, you're going to realize that this is kind of a shoddy method. But keep in mind, like I said, the 2 rules of whip making. The whip has to have a good taper, and if you're going to sell it, be honest about it. So that's all there is to it. So without a further ado, let's get started in building it. And basically what that's going to entail is I'm going to show you guys what to do once you guys have all this done. So for example, with these strands with the BBs in it, what I usually do is I leave a little kind of like this tab thing hanging out, and we have our nail. This is what I use for the handle. It's an 11.5-inch steel nail that you can get at Home Depot, and we're just going to glue them all right there. Just glue them all to the tip, making sure the BBs kind of hang off a little bit, and I'll show you what that looks like when we glue all of these onto the tip of this nail. So there we go. We have attached the these strands to the nail, and you may be thinking, whoa, you skipped like 50 steps. No, I didn't. All I simply did was just glue them all to the tip of the nail and then just wrapped it up in artificial sinew. Now if you guys don't have any artificial sinew, I would highly recommend you get some, because it is the best material you can put in a whip for binding. You can make crackers out of it. It is all around a very good material, and as you can tell right here, I used it to strengthen and reinforce the transition. So instead of these loose strands right here, it is now kind of a tight part of a whip. I don't know how else to put it, honestly. But as you can tell, if I go to bend it, it forms a tapered rigidity, and it is a very nice curve, as you guys can see there. That is what you want. That is what you're looking for. So now what we're going to do is quite literally tape a bunch of tape onto the whip. We can use our little guide here. We're just going to, it says double wrap. What that means is, I guess, go back and then forth. Go forth and then back. We're going to do that all the way up to 20 inches, then 15, then 1. So basically this is just going to be a super thick portion of the whip. So single wrap at the top, 8 inches. I don't even know what that means. But basically what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do at least, is take my tape. I'm going to do 1 wrap from here all the way down to the tip of the ball chain. I don't think you guys can see it, but I basically made it an off color so you guys could see a bit better. This bizarre color right here is the ball chain. So I'm basically going to wrap it all the way past the longest BB strand. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. But anyways, our next step is to quite literally just tape the whole whip and just fill it up with all this hockey tape. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. So here we go. This is the finished product. Well, no, not the actual finished whip, but you know what I mean. This is what it looks like when it's done, when you're done with the wrapping. The first layer at least. The BBs end here, but I wrapped it about 4 or 5 inches past. But yeah, that's what it looks like right here. You can wrap it tight if you want. It doesn't really matter how tightly you bind it. But as you can tell, it's got a nice little wave going on. Boop. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is just keep on wrapping it. So start here, maybe go up like 20 inches and then back. Pretty much doing what my notes say here. So I'm literally going to give this a shot. I'm going to wrap it up 20 inches, 15, 5, 3, and 1. Just start here, go up to 20 inches, come back down, then go up to 15, come back down, go up to 10, then 5, then 3, then 1. So I'm going to show you guys what that's done, what that looks like when I'm done doing that completely. So there we go. We've pretty much wrapped it all the way from the 20-inch mark, then back to 15, then back and forth, just as I have explained. And basically, as you can tell, it's kind of taking a nice little natural loop to it. Let's see if I can do a little rollout for you, even though this thing isn't meant to have a superb rollout. I hope you guys got that. So you guys can see kind of a natural loop forming. So now what we're going to do is put the overlay on this whip. So here we go. I've taken all of the strands from here, from our sheet. I took all of the strand lengths. Now obviously I think this is too much. We're going to have so much extra cord left. I personally think so, but I have no idea. I haven't made this whip in over a year. So you guys already know how the whip turned out. I do not. So this is going to be a learning lesson for me. I'm going to follow this note down to a T. So that being said, I have all of the strands right here ready to go. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place. So yeah, that being said, what I'm going to do is just plait the handle pretty much either until I drop a strand or I finish the handle and I show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, I guess the only thing left to do is keep on plaiting. So I'll see you guys then. So right now we are ready to drop a strand. Now you guys may see the pattern forming, and it took a pretty nice pattern. But that being said, what we're going to do is drop a strand because things are getting a bit cramped up here. So even though I have a little bit of extra room I could go, I'm going to drop one here. Now if you guys have seen my videos before in the past, you guys know my method for dropping strands. Basically, once you get to a certain point, just braid a couple of strands past where you want to drop. Give everything kind of a firm pull. And now what you're going to want to do is just take these strands that you're going to drop, kind of set them out here and up front, like that. And then what you're going to want to do is take some hemostats. So now that we have that, and get some of my bigger hemostats for this, and then tightly clamp it closed, like that. Now you may notice the strands have just slipped underneath each other. No worries, just go through and pull it back out again. So get your, you can take a like a fit or a screwdriver or something, kind of go through and pull them tight. What I'll sometimes do is I'll take this piece of screwdriver or something, and then I'll pull the strand. It basically tightens it without sucking it underneath all the other strands. So basically what you're going to want to do next is just, you can cut them at a, I usually cut them at a slight diagonal and slight off of each other, so one of them's longer than the other. I usually do that when I'm dropping two strands at once. Now the method of dropping strands can vary depending on what your preferences are, so this is by no means the ultimate way of dropping strands. Now since this is a bullwhip for tutorial purposes and I'm not planning on selling it, it's not a custom whip order, so I'm going pretty fast with the strand drop. Now usually when I drop a strand, it's much more precise and much more time consuming to drop a strand. With that being said, that's usually my method for doing it. So now what I'm going to do is just undo my hemostats, and you just keep on plaiting past it, just like that. Now you may notice we went from 16 plait, I believe, now to 14 plait. So basically usually when I have an odd number of strands on each side, so for example we have 7 strands on both sides, I usually go, when I'm braiding from the handle to the tip of the thong, I'll usually go under a large number and then over a less number. So for example we have 7, I'll go under 4/3. That's usually what I like to do. So I'm just going to keep on plaiting until I get down to the fall hitch. So what I did was I went ahead and tied on a 6-point fall hitch. Now if you guys want to know how to do that, check out my very first video that I've uploaded to this channel, how to tie a professional looking 4-point fall hitch. And if you're wondering what the difference between a 6-point and a 4-point is, that you just have 6 strands to work with instead of 4. So basically just do whatever the video shows you to do, but you just have 2 more strands to work with. It really is a piece of cake to adapt. So that being said, I just went ahead and put it on a fall which you can see in a different video how to make one of those. So for sake of saving time, I'm not showing you how to do the fall or the fall hitch. I just put a Kevlar cracker on there, a brand new one. And yeah, this whip is officially done. Now, there's not a whole lot of complicated steps to do, but yeah, that being said, this thing is a monster to make, especially the whole BBs. So that being said, I'm not putting any Turks knots on it because I just don't want to. So yeah, the only thing left to do is to go out and give it a few test cracks. So there you guys go. That's how you build the Titan. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. It'll certainly make me feel that much better. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna take a nap.